Hello, welcome to Gary Hobbs, the podcast. And here's mi compadre, Gary Hobbs.
Hey, compadre Jay-Z, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Little D is back.
Yes, sir, in the house.
Oh, Johnny D.
I'm here.
Yours truly, the OG, old Gary. Gary Hobbs, the podcast. We are in Eagle Pass, Texas. Full house.
Yeah.
Full house tonight.
Reunited.
Straight, royal flush.
There we go.
Yes, sir. Go. Of course, you are listening to Gary Hobbs, the podcast. You're listening either at garyhobbs.com, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, lameraleona.net radio, Saturdays at 12 noon, and iHeart Podcast. Yeah. Brought to you by Domingo Garcia Law Firm, CRI Electric, Triple J Custom Welding, and Zero Fee Payments. Yeah. Wow. Pues last week, compadre, I couldn't reminisce lo que hicimos last week because, not because you weren't here, compadre, because I didn't remember. You know me.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, they think I'm joking. At the drop of a hat, I could probably remember 50 songs a night. No cell phones, no iPads, no notebooks that look like the Roman Catholic Bible.
Those prompters.
But, compadre, you asked me where I was last week, and I don't remember. Wow, sign of old age, compadre.
No, it happens.
It happens. But last Friday, compadre, of course, we were at Wonderland Mall. Wonderland of the Americas, ¿verdad? Balcones Heights, Texas, which is Balcones. The Balcones Heights Fiesta 2026 is the first annual. And we want to send a big shout out, Roy Martinez, who connected with us. But big shout out, Mayor Johnny A. Rodriguez Jr., and we got to meet the city manager, Maria Hernandez. So big shout out to them and the city council and all of them. Mariachi Vargas de San Antonio was in the house, and David Mares, and yours truly, Gary Hobbs, the usual suspects. My sister Lori, and Fred Martin were in the house. My son Gary Lee, Mika Wendy, and my grandchildren Gavin, Sophia. It was nice to see them.
Yes, sir.
How about Titin? Was he there?
No, he wasn't there, mi compadre Tintin. And I'm very disappointed, so let's not even mention his name right now. No, pues ahí. Ese es un mero mole ahí.
Sí, pues sí.
Wonderland, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Pero dije, mi comadre Celia, maybe llega. Pero ni Titin ni Celia, but big shout out, compadres. And then Saturday, we were in Midland, Texas with Our Lady of Guadalupe Church. It was Family Fair 2026. Got there, and when we got there, David Farias and La Tropa F were on stage. Got to say hello to David, take a picture with him, and Joe Farias, always a pleasure. Joe. And I don't want to say anything, but Joe told me he's 70 years old and he looks great, man.
Wow, yeah.
No, and he's still very active, working and playing, performing and recording, and my God, Dios los bendiga. But it was great to see Los Farias, La Tropa F. And Loca Pasión was in the house, of course. Los Navaira, Rigo in Destiny. I think they're just great. I think they're wonderful. I think Destiny sings really well. But Las Gracias, Our Lady of Guadalupe Church, Family Fair 2026, Saturday. And it was good weather. Big shout out to our proud sponsor, Domingo Garcia, and the Domingo Garcia Law Firm, with offices in Dallas, Houston, Odessa, and Fort Worth, Texas. More info at domingogarcia.com. To start off with today's Tejano cheese. Wait, let me take a drink of this tea.
Sponsored by
Red Diamond with Splenda. There you go. I hope they're listening. Not. Okay. You know me, like at 5 a.m, I've studied, I prayed, and I still can't go to sleep, right? And so I start scrolling. Now, I haven't gotten onto TikTok because they still got us not recommended. So screw TikTok. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to say that. But so I'm going through, I think it's Facebook, right? And I came across this person that I've been kind of following for a while, and I'm impressed, like what he started to do couple of years back, and to what is done, he goes under Smooth Vega.
Smooth Vega?
Smooth Vega. Smooth Vega. Smooth Vega. The official Facebook page of Smooth Vega. And so he had Michael Salgado on a podcast. He's got a brand new podcast. It's called the At Smooth Vega Podcast. You need to, now he's not strictly Tejano, okay? So this is what kind of grabbed my attention. The At Smooth Vega Podcast. The guy speaks very intelligently, very down to earth, right? But he has Michael Salgado on the podcast. So what grabbed my attention, I see the headline across the video. Michael Salgado speaks on how Tejano music died.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I didn't get to listen all of it, so I can't, I'm not gonna attack it that way, right? But I wish Smooth Vega would reach out to someone like me. Because they started talking about the 90s and the 80s, and él dice, compadre, que was, I'm just a kid. He doesn't really have, como diciéndome, I didn't grow up listening to just Tejano, right? And but it's his promo. Smooth Vega is with Michael Salgado, and I had to ask a question people have been debating for years: did Tejano music die? And but see across, he said Michael Salgado speaks on how Tejano music died. So now I don't know if they use those very exact same words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I started thinking, why don't they leave this subject alone?
Yeah.
Why don't they let it rest?
Yeah.
I didn't say die. You see?
Yeah.
So this is the way I want to attack it. Okay, Johnny is probably the oldest next to me, and then tu, compadre, and then Little D.
Yeah.
So we're represented by what? The 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s.
Yeah.
There you go. So our audience, all 10 of them, can know that we have a diverse crowd here, right?
Oh, yeah.
But all of us have been involved in puro Tejano music.
Yes,
right?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Okay. So now a question. American music, because we've all listened to American music. So, do you think the Rolling Stones, let's think them, let's think maybe, pues parece que ya se retiró Aerosmith. I don't know. Or Steven Tyler.
I haven't seen them lately. So
Okay.
Maybe.
So, do you think those guys, their music just died?
No.
Of course not. The Rolling Stones.
Definitely
Shit.
not. Of course not.
Elton John from the 70s, right?
Yeah. Doubt it.
Chicago, some of them have passed away, and some of them don't play together anyway. But Chicago's still out there, right?
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Now, has their music died?
Nope.
Well, of course not.
Nope.
Now, all those people were superstars before even I started recording Tejano music in 1983. Let's go back to, let's say Latin Breed, the Royal Jesters. Let's say, those 70s bands. And, it's not like their music just went away, right?
They're still there.
So when somebody says something like, I can understand when somebody's going to say something like, Gary Hobbs, no, pues lo mismo. Siempre lo mismo. Okay, so I go see Chicago or I go see the Rolling Stones, and people expect them to play all their popular songs.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Bueno, same thing happens to us older veterans in Tejano music. Now, I want to go 2-3 places with this, ¿verdad? I'm almost obligated to play 15 songs. I mean, okay, a huevo. A huevo. Si no, they won't be back.
Yeah.
Now, that's why they hired you, and so that's what you do, right? Now, my thing is that I'm not worried about the younger generation thinking that we never gave them a chance, because Smooth Vega says something that I think there was a gatekeeper where they didn't let bands come in, and they didn't give them a chance for it to grow. And that's as far as I got to that, right? Okay. who said that when I came in, there wasn't a gatekeeper?
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Even when I started selling records, you know, it's not like the doors are just open for you. You got to go out there and it surprises me, Smooth Vega, because everything that I've seen about him, he's very positive, man, and he's been successful so far. But to word it that way makes it sound like now los de ahora, and it's not the bands. They don't understand how hard it is for us to maximize our visibility because we're veterans, because of my age, 30 albums later, and here I am, que you're asking people to play the new recordings, and if it hadn't been for Freddie Records, they wouldn't be playing our new stuff, man. We were independent for 20 years, but it's like they're going up against the river on this, and it doesn't rest, man. Like, Tejano died. Like, so let's talk about very popular, famous Tejanos, right? Okay, let's start. Pick it whoever you want.
La Mafia?
La Mafia. They're still around.
Yeah.
Yep. And kicking ass, right? Okay. But you get to the Ricardo Castillones, the Jay Perez, the David Lees, the Ram Herreras, they're still performing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
They're still performing. I wonder if they have problems getting their new music, because when I was independent, I thought I had friends, DJs and program directors, and but Los Tejanos, so it hasn't changed in their eyes, right? But we're playing our music. We're not stopping anybody from coming in, and joining Tejano. What's one of the main problems is that those young bands need to get their friends, their families, the young generation hooked on their music.
True.
Why do you say Tejanos did? Why do you say, no, I get it. But the Rolling Stones are still kicking ass,
True.
So I'm not saying Gary Hobbs is still kicking ass, because I am still kicking ass. But
we're still playing.
Yes, we're working
Every weekend.
Every weekend.
But you see, what caught my attention was that promo video, Michael Salgado, on how Tejano music died. They keep saying that Tejano music,
Clickbait.
well, it does, clickbait.
Yeah,
I get
I
it.
call it clickbait.
But I get it. Music has to change. It does. But you don't change a band. You don't tell Rolling Stones. No, I need to Rolling Stone Tejano. I've been called worse. But you don't ask them to change their set list, and their performance. If they think I'm gonna jump around and dance like Bruno Mars, but I probably faint and ahí quedo ensartado, 5 seconds into the dance, But what a measly laugh, but it was true. But so I want to take it around before I finish the segment. But again, Tejano music has not died. It's not as popular as you think, but the demographics, people our age, up to like 15, 20 years younger than me, are still supporting Tejano. Now, the club scene, and now we're heading to Guadalupe, Nuevo León in June, right?
In June.
With Ram Herrera and Jumpy Garcia.
Juan P. Moreno.
Moreno.
Juan P.
P.
Moreno.
Moreno.
Juan Moreno. What did I say?
Garcia.
Who's Juan Garcia? I don't even know.
Sorry. Some guy.
The point that I wanted to make, in the promo, alguien le puso ahí, estos artistas son más famosos acá en Monterrey que ni en su tierra. And that's not true. I hope that guy's listening, because I think whoever put that is such a POS. But it's not true. It's that they don't get to see us over there as often. But if you look at the demographics, the analytics from Spotify, Amazon, there's a lot of in that Monterrey area, which brings it back. Are people seeing us way too much here just in Texas? They've taken for granted Tejano music, and we'll catch them next time, but there's a handful of us that still do this, at a high level, David Lee's out there working. Jay Perez is out there working. Ramirez out there working. Gary Hobbs out there working.
Oh yeah,
true. But to put that clickbait as how Tejano music died is like very insulting to me. Very insulting. I took it kind of like personal there. And now, again, I don't know Smooth Vega, right? I don't. But I see nothing but positive stuff, And of course, I'm friends with Michael Salgado, of course, Pero now, again, the question here to me, Michael was never Tejano. Tejano audiences love Michael Salgado music. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But Michael wasn't Tejano. And I think you asked Michael back in the day, and he was going to all the norteño stations, and he was doing also Tejano. Don't get me wrong. But I think the majority of his music appealed more to the norteño.
Norteño, yeah.
But again, if Smooth Vega would have, so it's an open invitation, Smooth Vega.
It's kind of sort of like a Los Relámpagos tribute band, Michael Salgado.
Okay. When I first heard him,
yeah.
Okay.
They were recording casi puro de
no, but when I started hearing Michael first, and again, we're not insulting here. He was doing a lot of covers de Ramon Ayala.
Yeah. Relámpagos.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. And so and it's like that little story I said that like I don't know if it was 1996. I was at the Tejano Music Awards and I was signing autographs there at the Alamo Dome, and I turned around and somebody was playing and everybody just got up, and I go, and who's coming up? And I heard the music, and I'm turning around, and like 2-3 seconds I'm hearing, I go, wait a minute, that's not Tejano, and it was Intocable, Now they're a great band,
Yeah.
And you ask Intocable if they're Tejanos. I just want to see the reaction on Ricky's face, because he said it before. He said it.
Yeah.
They're not Tejanos. But so why tanta la bronca with the word Tejano music, man? I mean, we defend it because it's the flag right under the United States flag and the state of Texas flag and then Tejano flag. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
But why tanto pedo with Tejano music is died? You know what? Just, F it, forget it. That's the F. The F means forget it.
If Tejano music died, then why are they people calling the norteño stuff Tejano?
Well, yeah.
That's another thing.
Why is there still Tejano Fest? Yeah. And why is there still,
the
Tejano Music Awards?
Norteño, the conjunto is conjunto, and Tejano is still Tejano with keyboards.
No. I'm convinced that there's actually haters out there, but why? What? Because, why? Because they don't play. Because they don't play. Maybe con una audiencia mexicana. Maybe our radio station doesn't play norteño. I don't know. Yo traigo la misma bronca. I have the same problem.
Yeah.
Mexican radio, aquí en Estados Unidos, never played one of our cumbias. Never.
No.
Now they did in the 90s. Te vas a acordar and stuff like that. Por favor, corazón. Those are BMI award songs. So
Corazón ardiente.
So again, why so much hate, against the older regime? They think that we blocked people out, gatekeepers, But, I mean, there's so many younger bands and younger artists than me, and I can't tell you why, and I'm not going to mention because then that would sound insulting, but why aren't they out there performing regularly and recording regularly? Because they don't have the resources. Promoters don't call them, they can't get out. Well, who the F said that we had that open door? Like they gave us everything in the 80s, from 83 on. The 80s and the 90s, nobody gave us. And we got blessed that we went to finally somebody like, Capitol Records, EMI Latin, and then they started playing our music everywhere. We want to thank our proud sponsor, CRI Electric in San Antonio, Texas, family and veteran-owned commercial, residential, industrial, electrical services on electrical, data, voice, science, and solar. Give them a call at 210-509-8889. Big shout out Israel and Christine Garza, CRI Electric. So, do you think Tejano music needs to get, major sponsorship like before? Or Verdi Records is incredible, but but they can't take on 80 bands.
Exactly.
They can't, And I'm really comfortable where I'm at. I mean, I don't want that to come across like. In fact, I'm about ready to start recording new music con el favor de Dios. But again, this vibe that they have against Tejano music, always Tejano music tied to the word died. Que cuando Selena se murió los Tejanos. Pues no, I think she was expanding Tejano, but she wasn't, to me, it wasn't like her music was the she abandoned some Tejano rancheras, She didn't need to go back to Tejano rancheras. I get it. Again, I think she was just destined to be like bigger than Gloria Estefan. La neta. I think she was I don't think nobody was gonna touch her. But
true that.
It happened.
Whenever they say that Tejano died, it reminds me of Richie Valens and the day rock and roll died.
Pues it didn't.
But it didn't.
But and you go back to eso de que rock and roll. Okay, who do you consider rock and roll? Think about it. Think rock and roll. Who started rock and roll? Bueno, Little Richard says he started it.
Oh yeah.
And that he started this, Elvis somewhere, and he started this, and Muddy Water. Okay, rock and roll. Okay, so they don't call it rock and roll anymore. I mean, they went with the rock, right? Yeah, and then they went alternative. And what other kind of rock do they say? Heavy rock, metal rock, grunge, acid rock. Nobody used the roll.
Nobody used the roll.
Heavy metal.
They rolled the joints, but they didn't roll something else. Now see how they started to, dissect everything. Okay, so why do you have to, nobody's asking you to come dissect Tejano music. There's so many things that just runs through my mind. Like I started in '83, and I was at Hacienda Records. I think I already said the story. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself.
That's all right.
But we went to go record. Within an hour and a half, we had a recording contract right on the table. Orale, And so there on the wall at Hacienda Records was photos de La Movida, compadre, Pio Treviño, Romance, and there was a photo there de David Lee Garza. And it's the album, I think, Ram was singing with them on the first one, Especialmente para ti.
Okay.
And it was a hit, gigantic hit. And I asked, are those the guys from, because I heard from Poteet, right? Dijo, yeah, but they're conjunto. Hacienda Records told me, and so this is my first year in full-time Tejano, and they told me they weren't even under Hacienda Records. Oh. They were under Las Brisas Records, which was the next level. Man, did they ever get that wrong, right?
Yeah.
They missed out on David Lee Garza y los musicales, right? So that's their bad. But what I'm saying is that they said, oh no, that band, they're conjunto. Wow. So when did they start calling? This is the big question. And somebody should get a hold of us. When did they start calling Tejano music? I mean, it was called Tex-Mex. It was called what else?
La Onda.
Yeah, Chicano movement, Chicano music.
Yeah.
But when did they start calling it Tejano music? Maybe after the Tejano Music Awards?
Could be.
I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe.
But if the Tejano Music Awards are still there, have you seen the audiences like at the Hall of Fame thing now on TV? Like, not too many people. Like, people are losing interest in awards and the shows, and So why should they criticize the Tejano Music Awards? If Tejano's so bad, how come there's like 9-10 new award shows? Now they're gonna say because the same guys always win, and all that controversy, right? I have to argue they have a little bit of truth in that, right? But why new 9-10 awards de repente? If Tejano music is dead, like what we need is we need some of these young bands to cough it up and step it up and get out there and do the grind. But everybody's losing personnel, De repente, hey, it's all about the money. It's all about the bennies. And de repente, you can't support it. It's on the road. They got to go work. They got to change jobs. They got to try and then there's musicians that are very good, and their main concern is going up the ladder. Mm-hmm. You know, they're trying to make a name for themselves. I get it. Like me, it wasn't like I went after Gary Hobbs. I didn't. I went to Hacienda Records as Hot Sauce Band. And the contract they offered us, they said, there's one stipulation. We need to go with Gary Hobbs and the Hot Sauce Band. You should have seen the look on the guys when the owner, Roland Garcia said that. No relation to Juan Garcia. Roland and Annie Garcia. And you should have seen the guys' faces, you know. And I was the first one to say, you know what? We put a deposit down to record. We can take the masters. We can go somewhere else, man. But we loved the Hacienda sound back then. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Drums, vocals, everything. And then the guys little by little, no. And I knew it was the beginning of the end there, you know. Hadn't even started, man, you know. But again, I was a team player. I wasn't like, shit, I was the one driving and booking it, and I was the one unloading. And hey, teníamos bastante artistas in the band. A lot of star power. But again, I didn't go looking for that. And I think nowadays, maybe that may be one of the problems. You don't see bands anymore. You know.
That's true.
Hey, La Fiebre or Fiebre from Luis, both bands, they're still kicking ass, man. And they've been around since the 80s, you know? Yeah. So a lot of bands. And so, but again, I hope Smooth Vega invites me. I would, I think he's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, compadre. But I would love to do his podcast, but, you know, now, Johnny, I'm not going to let you off the hook. So tell me what you think of everything I said.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna tag him.
Okay. So he could see.
So he could hear it. No, but it's true. It's true. You know, not even going far. Aquí in Piedras Negras, right here, they love Tejano music. Yeah. They still Friday, Saturday. I know that I've been invited to play with a band over there, and they rock it. People go there. It's like,
the Kokomo, Kokomo still makes Tejano.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where all the new music they kind of, excuse me. They stopped using a lot of keyboards as the dominant instrumentation, you know? And of course, we're keyboard orientated, you know? But it's just like saying rock. How can you have rock without somebody really getting down on the guitar? You know? I mean, what's rock or rock and roll without guitars, you know?
Yeah.
And nothing against any other type of music. Man, that's where people get us wrong. We're defending what's ours, our style, you know, but then they think we're criticizing other genres, and we're not, man. Well, I mean, I do criticize the Grammys, you know. Yeah, I do. I really do. It's nada que ver. Some of those winners.
Yeah, something
nada que ver. Again,
questionable. Yeah.
That's just like my behind, right? Everybody's got one, an opinion, you know. But again, let's see, compadre. I just want to hear a little bit of you. Let them have it, compadre. Let them have it.
On the spot.
Yeah, on the spot. No,
you think Tejano music died?
Yeah, no, it's not dead, and it's never gonna be dead porque there's a lot of Tejano lovers out there, Tejano fans. They support our music, your music, the Tejano music industry.
Like RQ, compadre?
RQ, Danny
there
Red.
You go. Danny Red.
Also, there's still a lot of people out there that love Tejano music, and
they're young too.
And they're pushing it.
Yeah.
And they're pushing it, man.
And it's not. I'm sorry. It's not only Danny. O sea, there's other on TikTok. There's many.
Danny's my son's age, so he's got to be 42, 43
around there. Yeah.
And RQ, compadre, it's got to be late 60s, mid 60s. So you see that almost 30 years there.
Yeah.
Like you know, people that listen to Tejano music. You know.
And what I'm getting at is, man, there's so many DJs spinning Tejano right on TikTok.
Yeah.
And they have so many viewers. So, I mean, there's no way Tejano's dead.
Especially at night and Thursday night,
yeah,
Friday
on the
nights,
weekend. Okay, you're going to turn on the grill or whatever, and you got some music to listen to. Yeah.
We want to send a big shout out to our proud sponsor, Triple J Custom Welding, owned and operated by the Bustamante family in Seguin, Texas. triplejcustomwelding.com or Facebook page Triple J Custom Welding for more information. Big shout out Juan and Crystal and all their family. God bless. Oh, and to that dude that put on that video of me, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was at the, you know, I don't make excuses. I'm 66 years old. And I've been going through a lot the last 3 months, and I lost my mom, and I don't sleep well, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm getting so fat, and I can't blame it just on that. But somebody puts, man, he looks drunk.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, you never got to see me drunk and doing my 72-hour marathons. You have no right to tell me that I look drunk. Now, he should have put, he looks jodido. And I would have respected that with all my heart.
That would have been
Se mira jodido. Yeah. Se mira que no. He looks drunk, you know.
Yeah, it's low balling.
Yeah.
It's low balling, gacho.
You know, we're not going to be cussing on this podcast.
Another thing.
Shit, I don't know why I put that policy in.
Another thing was when we play, I've talked to several promoters, así me pongo a platicar, you know. And everybody comes out with the thing that people don't want to pay anymore, like top money for the bands and to go show up at the places and whatever. It's too expensive.
Pues, compadre, people my age, maybe I have to agree a little bit, you know.
But yeah, but they don't see también de que the diesel is real expensive. You gotta do all that expenses to get to places.
Watch,
you know?
I got something for those opening bands and for the young bands, and so we had a 3-day week 2 weeks ago, right? Mm-hmm. And my cost on diesel and hotels for the 3 days was like $2,800. $2,800. Wow. I mean, diesel is killing us. Yes, I get it. It's another subject for another day. Pero you're right, compadre. Gente, I mean, if the economy is jodido, or struggling, pues then people are struggling and not now. That didn't stop people to go see George Strait 2 days in Lubbock, 133,000 people.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars.
So Bruno Mars, so no puede estar tan jodido así, but it's a different genre, different. They don't get to see George Strait, but they get to see Gary Hobbs and the Usual Suspects just about every week somewhere, and maybe we're an overkill, compadre, And then there's people Tejano que dicen, he's still around. Gary Hobbs is still around. Well, you know what that tells me? You don't know Jack about Tejano music, man.
Exactly.
Because we're out there over 100 gigs a
year. They don't believe that, compadre.
We got 8-9 gigs a month.
And I always tell the story that 1994, 95, and 96, we were doing over 200 plus days. They don't believe it. Like, it was, sorry, dude. Yeah, sorry. But Tejano music, when it died, what a subject. And Smooth Vega, the invitation, it's open. I love to sit down and discuss Tejano music. I can't discuss anything. He's been doing something with Louis the singer. He's Hispano. It's Tex-Mex, Chicano, Tejano, and he's hitting into country music. And they've been doing wonderful things. Louis the singer. I just remember why I started seeing Smooth Vega, right? Smooth Vega's been working with them and doing things. Pero again, he looks like a really positive dude, man, this Smooth Vega guy. And I love to do his podcast and shoot the breeze and tell him how Tejano music really hasn't died. And it's not like it's on its last pulse. It's like, how can you say that with all these kind of artists that are still in Tejano music and recording, It's beating. Well, it's not the money from the 90s, I get you, pero once again, big shout out, Smooth Vega. All love, all positive, and hopefully we get to be on the podcast, right? Yeah. But this is Gary Hobbs, the podcast. The opinions are ours. We get it. We're in Eagle Pass, Texas. We'll be right back. Zero fee payments, providing trusted payment solutions for businesses of all kinds with no contracts, no hidden fees, and free equipment. For more information, call or text 830-461-0905. Gary Hobbs, the podcast. Before we leave, Hey, se nos fue el tiempo en puro cheese, man.
Oh, yeah. Went by fast.
Mexican cheese.
You guys talk too much, man. Hey, to all our audience, I'll tell you, you can visit us at garyhobbs.com for more information. Gary Hobbs, the usual suspects. Also, garyhobbscruise.com for all our information on our cruise. Cruise number 8, Gary Hobbs Family and Friends Cruise, January 31st through February 7th, 2027. Of course, on board Stephanie Montiel and her band, Joe Posada, Texas Latino, David Olivares, the Crazy Pimps, Tejano Loco, special appearances by DJ Tippy Tiff, Gabriel Zavala, Lily Bella, Johnny D in the house, Gary Hobbs, and the usual suspects. Visit us at garyhobbscruise.com. Now, we give them more bang for the buck.
Yes, sir.
So we have three full dances. 3 full dances, ladies and gentlemen. 3 full dances. And then, these guys don't even know, but we're going to have our first Gary Hobbs, the podcast meet and greet session.
Oh, yeah.
We have a pool party scheduled, 70s, 80s night, costume included. Tejano Local Beach Party at Mr. Sancho's and other activities. GaryHobbsCruise.com information. You can visit our social media sites, Facebook and Instagram, X, Gary Hobbs Official. And that Kaido TikTok account, garyhobbs.official. That's garyhobbs.official. OFFICIAL. There's a bunch of fake profiles now.
Yeah,
And that's Kaido. That's Kaido. But TikTok, garyhobbs.official. Now, this Friday, con el favor de Dios, May the 1st, we are in Arlington, Texas. First time at Bellicon nightclub. Nice big club. Arlington, Texas, this Friday. They're doing Tejano now on Fridays, compadre.
Awesome.
Now, Saturday, May 2nd, we are in Houston, Texas with the St. Patrick's Knights of Columbus 8404. It's at KC Hall, Saturday, Houston. And Sunday, we are in Portland, Texas, compadre, 5th and Elm. Nice new place there in Portland, 5th and Elm. It's an early show, compadre. I think it starts at 5. I think we come on at, 7:30, 8:30. It's over by 9 or 10, temprano. Now, the following Friday, May the 8th, we are in Katy, Texas with Texas Rodeo Saloon.
Awesome. Another great club.
Yes, we want to send a shout out. Lovely people there in Katy, Texas, surrounding areas, and of course Houston. That's Friday, May 8th at Texas Rodeo Saloon. Now, Saturday, compadre, we're supposed to be a Mother's Day thing in Uvalde, and I don't know, promoters just not calling us back. I don't know, maybe Tejano music has died, compadre. I don't know. But the Sunday, we're in San Antonio, Texas, May 12th at Tequilas, and that's always it's a small club, compadre.
Nice.
And I'm glad they don't call the fire marshal there. Okay. But it is 110% Tejano.
Oh, yeah.
Big shout out Tequilas. We're there Sunday, May 10th. Now, Friday, May 15th, we're at the Casa Blanca Event Center, Laredo, Texas, with Jay Perez and Gary Hobbs and the usual suspects. And on Saturday, May 16th, we are back in Westlaco, the RGV, compadre.
RGV one more time.
I think we need an apartment. We're going to be at the Mustang Lounge. So big shout out to Rio Grande Valley. We're there Saturday, May 16th, Westlaco, Texas. Before we leave, happy birthday to your mom, compadre.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday to your mom. She just turned
93, compadre.
93.
What a blessing.
My mom's age. Saludos, Miss Samago.
Yes.
Y toda la familia Samago, compadre.
Oh, yeah.
Andabas en Kyle, ¿no?
En Kyle, yeah.
All right. Compadre, ¿cómo le hacen para juntarse ustedes? Son como 200 ustedes.
We can't, compadre.
We can't, right?
It's very impossible.
Happy birthday, Ms. Samago. Any other shout outs?
Happy birthday to my cousin Annie Davila in San Antonio también. Shout out. Happy birthday.
There you go. Pues we are Gary Hobbs, the podcast. Johnny Davila, David Villanueva, compadre Jaime Samago. Yours truly, the OG, the old Gary Hobbs with Eagle Pass, Texas. Until next week, God bless. Dios los guarde, Dios los cuide. See you next week. Say bye, guys.
See you later.
Later.